I, a nearly adult male, found out only a few weeks ago that my dad left me a lot of money in a trust. It's such a crazy amount that I didn't really believe it at first, but it's true. The reason is that my dad had already inherited from both his parents. He also inherited from the only 2 uncles he had, and one of them was very successful and had a business. This was all explained in a letter my dad wrote to me. He had the trust set up before he came into most of the money, but when he found out his cancer was incurable, he decided to put it all aside for me once all medical bills were paid off for him. My parents were separated but not legally divorced when my dad was sick and died, but they weren't living together or a couple for a year. This was 10 years ago. My mom learned about the money after reading the letter he sent me about the issue. Then she insisted she join me to meet with the lawyer to discuss this. When my mom learned about the money, she told her husband, and suddenly the money became a very touchy subject. The way my dad set it up, I can't touch it until I'm 19, so I have some time to deal with this, but my mom and her husband want me to share the money with my step-siblings, a teen and 2 pre-tweens. The money is enough that even if I pay for college and buy a house, I would have money left. The way the trust works, I was told it's also getting interest, which my dad had intentionally set up. My mom and her husband have struggled financially for years. They started dating when his youngest kid was 1. His wife had died, he was going through a legal battle with the mother of his oldest, and his oldest was in therapy for trauma caused by their mom. Also, his youngest was born with some medical issues and has lots of doctor appointments. Between everything, money was tight. We lived paycheck to paycheck, and I worked to make my life more comfortable, but we had no college savings or anything before this. My mom and her husband drained their bank account to keep a roof over our heads. This has all been brought up to me as a good reason why I should do this. My mom told me it was selfish for Dad to put it all away solely for my future, and he should have been thinking about raising me as well. She told me I might not call her husband Dad, or his kids my siblings, but we are a family and that this family has been through so much together and we've struggled for so long that it would be so good and generous for me to do this. I told her it's not like I can access the money now. She said no, but when I do, I should set up accounts for my 3 step-siblings so they have a better chance at college, and if not college, the chance to have help starting in life. Despite all their attempts to talk me into it, I said no. I told them I wasn't going to share the money. My mom was so mad, but it was nothing compared to how mad her husband was. They told me to quit being selfish and start acting with compassion. Am I the idiot for refusing to share my huge inheritance? Edit. His children are with his late wife and his ex-wife. None of his kids are my mom's kids. Not the idiot. So your mom's new husband is mad you aren't giving money to his children with your mother? This money came from your father. That was not their father, it was yours. This is whom your father wanted the money to go to. Explain to your mother that if they're going to punish you for doing exactly what your dead father wanted, they can go fly a kite. Mom should also ask her new husband to stay out of it. He isn't your father. Please talk to your trust officer and leave your mom out of it. None of his kids are my mom's kids. This doesn't make sense. These kids are not someone your father wanted to leave his life inheritance to. Most likely he didn't even know them. Your good fortune with regard to money doesn't fall to those around you. So when you get older, get a good paying job and make more than them. Should you write a monthly check to them so everyone gets the same? Your mother is being pushed by her husband to have these thoughts. It isn't rational. What a weird world she lives in. Honey, your mom sounds toxic. I'm sorry. She should be happy for you instead of preying on her own son. Her behavior is disgusting. You need to do as your dad wishes and honor him. Set up your future. It's not being selfish. It wasn't your money, it was his. If your dad told you to go buy a gallon of milk at the store and handed you $5, would you return with a candy bar and a donation slip? He would likely be mad. It's a parent's responsibility to take care of their children. Your dad is taking care of you. My daughter is 24 and living on her own. She has a job that supports her well, but she lives beyond her means. I've told her so many times to cut back and even offered to help make a budgeting plan. Every time she tells me she knows what she's doing. I got a call from her and she's in $3,000 in credit card debt and was panicking since she didn't have enough to make the minimum payment. She asked me to lend her the money to bail her out. I told her I wanted to see her transactions on the credit card. I was going to help her if she was making essential purchases. She wasn't. It mainly consisted of Amazon shopping, eating out and clothes stores. I told her I would not bail her out of that debt since she was living beyond her means. I also brought up that she was planning a vacation that she couldn't afford. Instead, I told her that I would help her make a budget and it would suck for a few months, but we'd probably fix her debt. She got angry with me, which started an argument. I won't bail her out and she thinks I'm a huge jerk. I told her it was her fault for living outside her means, and a few sandwiches would drastically cut down on what she spent. Am I the idiot for telling my daughter I'm not bailing her out with her credit card debt? You are the idiot. What did you teach your kid about budgeting and money management when she was a kid and a brand new adult? If you send your kids off into the world without thoroughly grounding them in a solid fiscal sense, can't be surprised when they don't just magically develop it. My mom spends all her money until the last penny, so she can't teach me responsible spending. Somehow I managed to learn to save without an adult teaching me, and I'm sure others can too if they want to. It's not rocket science, just self-control. OP's not the idiot. Agreed. Apparently your daughter needs to learn the hard way that it is imperative to be more responsible with her money. In the long run, it'll be good if she does, although she will have some big problems before she gets there. She is an adult but still acting like a teenager. Credit card debt is a major trap for some people, as you have pointed out to her. You offered to help her budget and she apparently thinks you will still bail her out, but I urge you not to unless she actually cancels the account and cuts up the card. Sometimes a credit card is as bad as a drug addiction. It might take her a while to get the message and make her believe it, but if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I see no reason to bail her out now or later. She messed around and will find out. So I, 27 female, have been married to my husband Spencer, 28, for 2 years, but have been together for 6 years total. We don't have kids. I've known Spencer since elementary school. We've had a loving relationship from the beginning, but now he's destroying it with his insecurity after discovering I was with another guy before him. So he knows I'm bi. I had dated girls most of high school until graduation. I slept with my best friend Maven's 26 female cousin Thomas. He was the only guy I was with. We dated a bit, but it didn't go anywhere. I dated my last ex-girlfriend from 18 to 20 in college. We broke up and then I got with Spencer. We've been together since. Spencer knew I dated girls in high school and college, but we never really talked about our past relationships and flings. Spencer slept with half the girls I knew in high school and slept with many in college. I don't care about past relationships. They don't bother me. I'm not a jealous person. Spencer didn't show any signs of jealousy at all. When Spencer and I went to see our friends, Maven, my best friend, was there. We were at Spencer's best friend's house and we were all drinking. It was fun. We watched a few movies and the topic of hookups came up. Everyone was talking about body counts and past relationships. Spencer did talk about how many girls he slept with to his best friend Ace. Then he boasted how he was the only guy that I slept with. Maven cut him off and told him while giggling, "You mean second?" Spencer was confused and asked me if it was true and with whom. I did say yes, and with Thomas. He just got quiet after that. The whole time there, he wasn't interacting with anyone that much. He was only on his phone. I did try talking to him, but he either didn't hear me or gave one-word answers. When we got home, he snapped at me and told me I was a whore for letting a guy touch me, how he thought he was the only one. I just started crying. I told him that we'd never talked about our past relationships that much. It was even before we got together. He was dating another girl when I even got with Thomas. That was years ago. Why is he mad now about it? He proceeded to call me so many names and how I was gross if he was better. I just didn't answer him, so I went to our room and locked it. He slept on the couch and told me the next day he was sorry and intoxicated. I did forgive him. I thought we'd gotten over it, but he always asked if Thomas was better when we did anything romantically. For everything. It was getting tiring. I told him to stop asking me this. He did stop and things went back to normal, till I got a text and screenshots from Thomas, who I haven't spoken to in years. I was confused when I saw the screenshots of my husband, threatening Thomas, saying everything awful. Now Thomas is married and has kids, so I don't know what Spencer thinks he's going to get out of Thomas. I did apologize to Thomas and told him I had no idea this was happening. But Thomas told me to keep my husband under a leash and proceeded to block me. I was just furious and I confronted Spencer. We got into a huge argument. I told him I was divorcing him. He started crying and begged me not to go, but I left and stayed at one of my girlfriend's place. I'm done with his crap. His friends are harassing me and calling me a whore and a liar. His family is asking me to come back, but I just can't. He's put so much stress over something that had nothing to do with him years before we got together. Am I the idiot if I proceed with the divorce? Not the idiot. He called you what? Yeah, this guy sounds unstable, and his friends too. It sounds like he viewed you like some kind of trophy, like he won by being the man to win the bi woman. The dude needs some serious help. Take care of yourself and stay away from drama queens. Your life will be a nightmare if you continue with this. Are we sure his friends are getting the whole story, or an even remotely accurate one? I'm almost positive his explanation didn't include, so I got obsessively insecure that she'd slept with another man years before we got together and started calling her a whore despite clearly being an absolute man whore myself. Bet they didn't get that story. Girl, run away. I dated someone similar in the past, and trust me, it's just the beginning. Please take care of yourself and remove him from your life completely. It doesn't matter how sweet and loving he is, or if he was intoxicated one night. There are so many more nights that he can come home intoxicated and say or do mean things to you. You deserve so much better. His behavior towards you was wrong, but his behavior towards Thomas is terrifying. Divorce, block, move on. I, 22 female, have always been a really chill person. I've always gone along with everyone and I really appreciate my mental peace. I hate unnecessary drama. I've been dating Zach for 3 years. He's always had his best friend Mia studying in another country. They always talk via text or video call. That never interested me at all because I also have male friends. Mia was always disinterested when Zach was by my side on his video calls, and I wasn't interested in her either, to be honest. Still, Zach wanted us to be friends, so I tried. Mia listens to the same music as me, so once, 3 years ago, I texted her to try and have a friendly conversation, but she saw the message and never answered me and blocked my number. I thought, what a rude witch, but I let it go and never talked about it with Zach to avoid trouble. I just think that maybe she doesn't want to make friends, and I respect that. Not long ago, she returned to the country, now to stay and live here again. Zach asked me if she could stay in our apartment, and I said no. I don't feel comfortable with people staying there. Apparently, Zach told her that I was the one who refused to let her be with us because Mia has been doing everything to criticize me since that day. She's criticized my work, studies, hair, clothes, etc. Zach always says that's how Mia is and I should be her friend because she's really funny. Ha ha. Many times she tried to make me jealous with comments like, "You know that I used to take baths with Zach when we were little kids?" And she would get upset when I just said, "All right," at those random comments because what the heck, why should I be jealous of that? She sits on Zach's lap. He doesn't say anything to her about that, even if he knows I don't like it. He cuddles with her every time they have the chance. They whisper to each other and go out together sometimes, and I obviously can't help but think that in any moment I will come back to the apartment and she will be wearing one of his shirts, and I don't want to deal with that, to be honest. The worst thing is that Zach really seems to like seeing me jealous. When I tell him something is bothering me, he laughs, saying, "Oh, you're jelly," and stuff like that without taking me seriously. It's pretty annoying to know that he likes me to feel that way. Mia has been really irritable lately, as if she's competing with me. It feels like they're trying to make a novel with me. She always tries to make me jealous with stupid things, like when she said she knows Zach's favourite sushi and I don't. I replied, "Then buy sushi for everyone because I don't care." I've told Zach on several occasions that his friend is an idiot and he just says Mia's like that and I should just ignore her comments, but honestly, I don't have the energy to deal with that girl and not beat her up at the end of the month, so I told Jack I'm going to move out and it's better to give ourselves some time. I haven't moved yet, so he's been coming to my room to tell me that I'm letting my insecurity speak for me and he doesn't feel anything for Mia. I told him I'm not insecure, I just want to protect my mental peace and avoid drama. He got angry, saying I should fight for him and not be so apathetic. He said that if I love him, I would be fighting for him, but I've always had the philosophy that if someone wants to cheat on you, they will do it even if you say no. I don't know if I'm being too cold about this, but I'm not the kind of person who enjoys drama. I was always the cold type of person. I hate drama, and I know Zach and Mia are enjoying this love triangle. I really care about Zach and we had a great relationship, but I care much more about my mental health. Am I the idiot? Edit, I haven't moved out yet because we pay rent together. The entire month of rent is already paid by me because he couldn't come up with the money to pay for this month. Still, he's supposed to pay for the next month. Guys, I don't have any problem with this. He didn't take advantage of me or anything. Something happened and he ran out of money for rent. Nothing about this. Plus, I have to wait for my parents to fix my room again, so for now I have to leave my things here. Not the idiot. She's disrespecting you and your relationship because he's allowing it. You don't have a Mia problem, you have a boyfriend problem. Stick to your guns. He's done nothing but stick up for her while she's trashed you, flirted with him, and sat in his lap right in front of you. To be honest, if they're not already cheating, then they will be soon. You should go now and protect yourself and your mental peace. He's loving all the attention. Get out. Don't change your mind. This. He also likes that she's covering his rent. Also, why doesn't he fight for her if he loves her? He's totally enjoyed having two girls fight over him. He probably thought he could wrangle it so he could have both of them. Now she's walked away and ruined his fantasy. Seriously? I can't believe you won't fight for me when other women sit on my lap. Him, essentially. You should never have to fight for the respect or attention of your partner. OP, you are mature and he is not. There's a difference in what you want out of a relationship. He wants drama, you do not. End of story.